Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Now we're going to have something that we have had before, but not this particular one, and that is the Damon johnstoni Tailess Whip Scorpions. Now we've had Whip Scorpions in the past, and they're not the longest living thing, to be fair. They don't seem to live forever, but while they are alive, they are really cool. And we've got a couple here that we picked up at the Essex show. So we're going to set up a simple thing for these. Now bearing in mind, these guys are pretty much nocturnal, so we don't see a huge amount of them in the daytime. They tend to be hidden away a little bit. They do come from West Africa, and they're an arboreal thing, so they love to live up on the tree trunks and things like that, and they are fast. They're really quick, but totally harmless. They really are harmless. So if you want something interesting and you want to watch it of an evening, these guys really are quite cool. So what we're going to do, we've got a 30 by 30 by 45 Exoterra here, and we're going to set that up for these guys here. Now they really are a fascinating little thing. So what we're going to do, it's such a simple setup this, because all they require is a little bit of space in which to rest, and all they need is flat pieces of cork bark, really, and that is it. They are so simple. I think what we might do, we might put a plant in as well. What the hell, put a plant in there just for our own aesthetics. Right, so we don't really need a whole load of soil in here, but what it will do is these guys do like a little bit of humidity, so a little bit of depth in your substrate will help maintain some of that. So what we're going to do, really is nice and simple. I'm going to put that in there like that. We've even got a cricket in here already. Look at that, he was in the soil box. So put that in there, and we're going to have another piece which we can put in here. Bear in mind, these guys, just to give them an option of being able to hide away a little bit, I'm going to grab a palm. I think we'll put one of them in as well. I do like the palms.
Are you hankering after a holiday?
I think I do. I think I need a holiday. Right. So what we're going to do, we're going to stick one of these in. I'll put it there. There. I'll put it there. First sign of madness, they say, is when you start talking to yourself. So I'll put that in there like so. And then we've got a little bit of moss here. So we're going to put a bit of this in. So you can see it's really dry at the moment, but that will soon hydrate once we get some water to it. And it will help lock in some of the moisture in the soil as well, which will keep that going. And we're not going to bother putting any branches in, I don't think. Or should we? Should we put a couple in just to see? I mean, they probably won't use them. I tend to find that these guys like the flat cork.
There was a false widow in there.
Was there really?
Yeah.
Where?
It was on here.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll grab it and eat it if they do find it.
Yeah.
I don't see it there now.
It was literally just on here. It's hiding.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's more likely to be in the hole on the front, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it might have been. Well, I don't think it will give these guys much trouble, to be fair. There he is. Gotcha. Yeah, he came running out then. Oh well, he's no more. Now I know sometimes, you know, people say we shouldn't be harsh on these things, but false widows really are quite a pain. They are a bit of a nuisance, and once they sort of get established in your room, they can cause you no end of trouble. So we don't tolerate them in the beastie room. It's a little bit too much. We don't want them in the beastie room. Right, so we're going to put that in there like that. These guys, they might use these branches. We will see. We will see. All right, put that in there. There we go. What are we thinking of that? That's looking all right, isn't it? If anything, even if they don't use the branches, it does add a little bit of another dimension. And what we will find is if I turn this around, you'll see that they can get, and they will spend their time in the backs of these bark pieces here, and they will get in there, and that is where they will spend their time. So what we're going to do now is we are going to spray this down. I'm going to give our plant a good water and our moss. That will liven that up. This time of year the moss goes very, very dry, and normally a good watering will bring it up no end. So we are going to soak this as well. These guys will drink off of the moss, so we're not going to bother off of the bark, sorry, they will drink off of the bark. So what we will do is we will spray this down every couple of days, and that will be enough. And these guys, if we do it in the evenings before lights are out, then these guys will come out and they will drink off of the bark and everything else. I've never yet seen one use a water bowl, so we'll see what happens. So what we're going to do now, we are going to have a look at these amazing things. They really are super, super cool. So let me get my water bowl out of the way. And remember we said as well that these are totally harmless. They have got pincers that hopefully we will get to have a look at in a moment. This one's pretty docile. Here we go. So as you can see, these guys move like crabs. And you see these giant antennae. They are absolutely huge, and they feel their way around with them. And you can see it now moving about. And they've got these big arms here. Now the males, they have really, really long arms, and the females tend to be a little bit shorter. I'm going to put this one in, and we're going to have a look at another one.
Okay.
Let's get this one in on the bark. See if we can go in there. There we go. There's another one here. They can move incredibly fast. Let's see if this one's a little bit more active. So they are pretty nocturnal. Here we go. This is a better one. You see how he's using those antennas to feel around. And you'll see also as well, this one is quite possibly a female. It's got much shorter arms. And as you can see there, they're not...
Still.
They're totally harmless, although quite scary looking. Aren't they fabulous? Now when these guys breed, the females carry their eggs underneath their abdomen, and then they hatch out literally underneath their abdomen, and then the little ones will in turn then disperse, And we've bred these before. Well, we bred the Damon medius, which is a different type, but very, very similar. Aren't they wonderful? Now, some of these guys can get extremely big. We've got another one here. They do seem a little bit shell-shocked at the moment. Oh, look at that, he just jumped in.
Oh, he missed that.
Let's see what this one does. I think their tissue's dried out in their boxes. They do like it a little bit moist. Now, we can see here with this one, careful of the boxes, we can see with this one the difference in the size of the appendages here. Look how long these are.
He points it at us.
I can try. Quite sticky feet.
It's very difficult to get the picture because you have like hands and everything behind it. And
you see that? Should get a nice close up of his face.
point him down a little for me. That's it. You said they can move quick.
They can move very, very fast. But you can see there the length of those arms. And you can see now, mate. Oh. Okay, fella. Well, you can see he's opening his arms up now. Oh, we didn't want you going out there. Maybe we can get a better look at him on there. You see how he's using his arms? Look at the length of those arms. They are absolutely huge. Really, really long. And you can see that they've got like these spines and everything here. And this is what they use to catch their prey. And then they force it back towards their mouths, like he's done now. And then they can hold it and feed on it.
You want some dinner?
He's trying to get away. See, look, I mean, look, that is literally upside down. He's holding on there. He's nice and easy. See him like that? Very, very cool. There's such interesting things. Very simple to look after. We're looking at sort of 70% humidity with these. That will keep them more than happy. Food-wise, they'll take on small crickets. Anything that's lively and on the move, these guys will physically hunt down. And that is literally what they do. They will literally run it down. So when they're hungry, they can make for very, very interesting captives, really. So in the early evenings, just before lights are out, throw a handful of crickets in, and these guys will come alive.
When you say I've got camera shake, it's you moving, not me.
Yeah, it probably is me moving a little bit.
There we go.
Right. You can see how flat he's made himself now. Look, this is definitely a male, and you can see that by the length. Shall I move this out of the way? We can see that by the length of these appendages here. You see how long they are? They're absolutely huge. Compared to the one we saw a minute ago, who's now disappeared. Much, much shorter. They stop about there, so they're half the size. You see how flat they are? Very, very flat. Now, it's nothing uncommon because these guys pretty much, when they come into the hobby, the vast majority of them will be wild caught. And so because of that, sometimes they'll come in with legs missing and antenna missing and things like this. They can regenerate them and grow them back through with a molt. But it's nothing seriously to worry about. It doesn't tend to affect them. I mean, this one's got all of them. This is in very good condition, this one. It's got lovely big antenna. It's got everything going on. So, but occasionally we do find that they'll come in with the odd appendage that is missing. But that's just the way it is. That's how they are. They are quite a delicate insect. You know, because these very, very extreme antenna, these extreme long legs, everything. They really are. You see, look, look. Yeah, look, look, look. He's going to come round. He's going to face the annoyance, which is my finger.
Metal ain't the best, like.
There he is. Look at that. Isn't that just amazing? Can you get a decent picture of him on there?
We've got some, but it's like the moment you think there's this light reflecting off the metal. And...
I can put him on a log.
Well, yeah.
Let's put him on a log. Let's see if we can get him on there.
They're obviously communal.
They can be kept communally. He's literally giving it, I'm a big deadly whip scorpion now. He don't want to leave this now, does he? Look. There we go, look at that. Look. Straight underneath. So we will turn him. There we go. Look at that. Now we can get some really nice close-ups. All he's doing is he's looking for a dark spot. He just wants to be in the dark. That's all he's doing. You can see how they move. Absolutely fabulous. So as we were saying, yes, we can keep these communally to an extent. As long as there's plenty of food. The males may fight a little bit, but they're not too bad. And I've found generally before when we've had them that if you have a few of them in a smaller space, they're not quite so bad. They don't tend to set up territories and what have you. They just sort of live amicably together. But they do have quite the appetite. And they need feeding quite regularly. They're not like our spiders where we can feed our spiders every 10, 15 days or so. These guys, we've found, they like food every few days. And then they tend to do really, really well. You can see how calm they are. So they make absolutely fabulous introductions to our room. They're going to be really nice in here. Now we would like to, I've always fancied the idea of having a huge great lump of cork bark hanging from the ceiling and having these guys on it. I think that would look really, really cool. But the problem is feeding them. And I'd end up with crickets all over my room. And I don't think they'd get to me quick enough that, that we'd be able to do it. It's something that I definitely would like to have a think about and see what we can do. Right, so what we're going to do now is just give it a little nudge. There you go. You can see how, look at that, look. It's actually really sort of showing off now. There we go. We're in there, that's it. Into your new home. And once that finds its piece of bark, there we go. That'll find its piece of bark and that'll soon disappear. You notice one of the others is on the back there. We've got another one up the top here. They'll soon find their own little spot. So if you fancy keeping some of these, we're looking at temperatures around about the sort of 70s plus, 70 to 80. They're more than happy. Humidity wise, again, we're looking around about that 70% humidity. That will keep them really, really keen and happy. As we said before, we can spray the bark. This is when they'll get their moisture from that. They'll drink from the wet moisture off of the bark. And anything else you got in there. If you've got plants in there, they'll drink from them as well. So really, it's important that we spray every couple of days. That will keep them hydrated and keep them nice. And then food-wise, we're just going to give them small crickets. They only need small crickets. Medium crickets will be fine. And we will literally just throw a handful of them in there and let them hunt them down. And it doesn't matter if they don't get them all straight away. As long as there's a bit of a turnover of food, they will get them done. So we're looking at feeding them. As soon as we don't see any more crickets, we'll give it a day or so and then we'll throw a few more in. And we'll just keep doing it like that. And that will keep them really, really cool. Now, they can be bred in captivity. And the best way to do that is to have a few of them. Keep them as a bit of a communal. Your chances of breeding them are going to be much, much better. When we've done them in the past, when we've done the Damon medius, we left our youngsters in there and they grew in amongst the group. But you do have to be careful because the adults will prey on them. So going forward, I think in future, if we manage to breed these, then we will then probably take the youngsters all out and put them all together in their own enclosure. So they're all of the same size. And then that way they won't predate on one another. Because as adults, as you've seen, they can get quite big. When they're little, when they're babies, they're only tiny. They're only very small. All right. Well, hopefully, I hope you enjoyed them. They really are stunning little things. All right. So, until next time, don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I'll see you all soon, guys.